Okay, for those of you that were not able to attend class, I'll make a quick video about how to make this 10mm wrench. And so we'll begin by making a new part. We have the chapter 2 project folder open. And so we'll make this part probably in inches oh wait, you can see millimeters down here at the bottom. So we do need to go over your standard millimeters, create. The maximum length of this, we'll say from center here to center there. Good approximation is 95. So we'll start a new sketch, then select the back plane, and then select rectangle. Usually a center rectangle will do. Then we'll type in 95 for that top dimension, hit the tab key, and then we'll type in 7 for the other one. Hit enter, and you have your basic handle. So that's this dimension here, and that dimension right there. All right, so then we need to make a hexagonal opening, 10.4 millimeters to fit over a millimeter bolt or nut. So we'll do that out here. So this can be found under the polygon, six-sided, select the middle, go out like this. Then we'll make the constraint from the constraint of dimensions from top to bottom. We'll make that 10.4. And then we also need to make it so that it doesn't rotate. You might notice that if I grab this or one of these sides, I can rotate it. I think what I can do is just go to constraint, horizontal, and then lock that down for one of those. Now you see that it's got 12 points in here, so we will make another polygon, hexagon. This time we'll make it so that the point is up in this direction. But everything else can be the same, such as this can be vertically aligned. And then from flat to flat distance, in other words, from there to there, under constraint, select the dimension tool. 10.4. Then we need to have some outer amount there to have around that hole. And so I'll just put a distance in there and approximately make that one, I guess 17 should do it. Let's go over to the other side and do the same thing. Except this time what we're going to do is have an opening right there. And a box in. And you can go ahead and make it as simple or as complicated as you like. You can have it go off at an angle. I'm just going to do something simple by using an offset. So I'm going to put an offset here, make it about 2 millimeters from that point. Constraint this. And then from flat to flat distance, again, it's going to be the standard 10 millimeters plus a little bit of offset. So it goes over the part. Then we can put a circle around that. Maybe 17 would be good as well. I'm going to type in 17 this time. And then we need to be able to cut all the way out here. So we're going to draw 2 lines from here to there, and from here to there. Okay, so now we're going to extrude. Go to 3D model, create, and we will just extrude the parts that we need. That will be the handle and part of the rest of this. Now we don't want to go all the way in there, so I did that wrong. So let's take that profile out. How about just right there, around the outside, and right in here. Now we don't need it to be that thick. Maybe 3 millimeters ought to do it. We're using the shift and scroll wheel to orbit around. We want that one, and that one, and that one. That should be good enough for what we're looking at. Now you probably need to adjust this a little bit because there's not enough material here to support that. So make this circle bigger or move this hexagon further out that way before you turn it in. Also, I want you to add a fillet to these edges to make it a little bit easier to hold, and you can make them maybe 120. That's really good. And then, well, you know what? That's probably not enough room to put your initials on there. So you can right click and edit that feature, and just type in 1. Give yourself a little bit more room. Going back over to the sketch, you can right click on the surface and say new sketch. Put some letters on there. You know what? Let's make it go all the way from left to right. So let me cancel that, do that again. Let's go all the way from here over to there and center whatever we get. So we're going to put this, the size is 10 millimeters. And we're going to put our last name after it. Now let's Control A to make it bold and centered. And then we should be able to shift it down just a little bit after the fact. So grab it and kind of pull it down like this. And finally do an extrude cut. Highlight it in green, 0.5 millimeter down. And by down, I mean cut like that right there. All right, and that was your wrench. Just make it a little bit more structurally sound out there. All right, let's save this so we can upload it to D12. Save it as part 2 wrench. I'm just going to put version 2 since this is my second one. All right, that's what you uploaded to D12 to get credit for this very simple, straightforward getting started exercise. All right, see you in the next video.